3 years ago, almost nobody outside medical circles had heard of drugs like Ozempic. Today, weight loss drugs like Mounjaro and Wegovy are being called the biggest obesity breakthrough in modern medicine. Millions of people are using them, and the results look dramatic. 20 pounds. 40 pounds. Sometimes even more. But recently, scientists started asking a different question. Not how much weight people are losing, but what kind of weight they are losing. Because part of that weight may not be fat. It may be muscle. And that discovery could completely change how these drugs should be used. Because if weight loss comes with muscle loss, the long-term effects may look very different than people expect. This isn't about whether these drugs work. They clearly do. This is about something more subtle. Something most people never hear about. And something researchers are only now starting to fully understand. To understand this, we need to understand what actually changed in obesity medicine. For decades, obesity treatment faced one brutal reality: people could lose weight. But biology usually won in the end. The body defends weight. If you lose too much, hunger increases. Energy drops. Metabolism slows. This is why most diets fail long-term. Not because people fail, because biology pushes back. Then a new approach appeared. Instead of fighting behavior, these drugs changed biology itself. Scientists discovered something powerful. Certain gut hormones control hunger signals in the brain. One of them is GLP-1. Drugs like Wegovy and Ozempic mimic this signal. They tell the brain, "You are full. Stop eating." But Mounjaro goes even further. Instead of one signal, it activates two. GLP-1 and GIP. Two metabolic pathways working together. And that is why weight loss results became dramatically larger. But bigger results created a bigger scientific question, and this is where the story gets interesting. Researchers began measuring something beyond weight. Body composition. Not just how much weight changed, but what type of tissue changed. Fat, water, muscle. And what they found started to change the conversation, because weight loss is not one thing. It is multiple biological changes happening at once. And one of those changes may matter more than people realize. When researchers analyzed body composition data, they found something important. A meaningful portion of weight lost may come from lean mass. Lean mass includes muscle. And muscle is not just strength tissue. It is metabolic infrastructure. It helps regulate blood sugar, supports movement, maintains independence, and protects long-term metabolic health. Which means losing muscle changes more than appearance. It changes how the body functions. And that leads to a critical shift in thinking. Maybe the goal is not weight loss. Maybe the real goal is fat loss. And that distinction changes everything. Because here is the part most people don't realize. Two people can lose the same amount of weight, but have completely different health outcomes. And the difference often comes down to muscle. Muscle is metabolically expensive tissue. Your body only keeps it if it believes it is necessary. Remove the stimulus, and the body may reduce it. That is especially true during weight loss. Which helps explain something else researchers observed. Weight regain after stopping medication. Not because the drugs suddenly stop working, but because metabolic resilience may change. If muscle declines, metabolism may decline with it. And that can make future weight control harder. The impact of these drugs has become so large, it isn't just medical anymore. It's economic. Pharmaceutical companies behind them became some of the most valuable in healthcare. Market projections suggest obesity drugs may exceed a $100 billion industry. Airlines study passenger weight trends. Food companies track consumption shifts. Healthcare systems model long-term impact. But the most important change is still biological. Because now the question becomes, can we lose fat without losing muscle? The good news is yes. And the science here is actually encouraging. 3 factors strongly influence muscle preservation. Protein. Resistance training. And monitoring body composition. Protein provides the raw material muscle needs to stay. During weight loss, intake often needs to increase. Resistance training provides the signal muscle needs to survive. Without that signal, the body may reduce muscle. Even basic strength training can change outcomes significantly. And finally, data matters. The scale only shows weight, but body composition shows what actually changed. And this is where modern obesity care is moving. From weight tracking to metabolic tracking. And this is where research is now heading. Toward drugs that don't just reduce appetite, but actively protect muscle. One of the most interesting is bimagrumab. Instead of targeting appetite pathways, it targets muscle biology. Early studies showed reductions in fat mass while preserving lean mass, which raises a powerful possibility. What if future obesity treatment combines fat loss drugs with muscle protection drugs? That would change everything. And that future may not be far away. New triple pathway drugs like retatrutide are being studied. New oral incretin drugs are being developed. Combination therapies are expanding. The race is no longer who can produce the most weight loss. It is who can produce the healthiest weight loss. And that distinction may define the next generation of obesity medicine. Mounjaro and Wegovy may be remembered as the drugs that changed obesity treatment. But their real legacy may be something deeper. They forced medicine to ask a better question. Not how much weight someone lost, but what changed inside the body. Fat, muscle, Metabolism. Function. Because long-term health isn't just about getting lighter. It's about staying strong. And the next phase of obesity medicine may focus on something even more important than weight loss. Biological resilience. The future of weight loss may not be about smaller bodies. It may be about stronger ones, where fat decreases, muscle remains, and health improves in ways a scale can never measure. These drugs may be powerful, but how we use them may matter even more. Because the real goal was never just weight loss, it was always better health. And science is finally starting to catch up to that idea. If you want to understand the science shaping the future of metabolism and longevity, consider subscribing. Because some of the most important discoveries in health are happening right now. And understanding them may completely change how we think about the human body.